Hi, I'm over at Darren's house. He just bought a complete setup. Let me just go over this real quick. This stand, I helped him build it, but I have videos on how to build this stand that holds the blue diamond printer and the silver flash dryer, and that's what we're going to be using today. Now, I wanted Darren to video this so he had could ask me questions, and by doing so I'll answer them, and hopefully this will help you if you're a beginner in how to print a t-shirt on your own. So here we go. So his question was, how do you decide what artwork is the right artwork? Well, what we're going to be doing is putting an emulsion. We're going to coat this screen. Okay, these screens, you buy them already stretched, and so they're all real tightly done, and they're about $15 each. You can find them online, and they even have aluminum ones. And the difference is about $10 more, and the aluminum ones will hold up forever. They won't work. The wood ones, after a year or two, they may start bending in that, and that might cause you a problem. But a screen you can use probably 10,000 times. So you can put an image on here and use it, take the image off, and put another image. Also, if you rip this, you can take it in. They have companies all over that re-stretch and put more material on there.
So screen repair company?
Yeah, well, it'll be a place that sells the screens. They'll do that. Now, if you're in the middle of the country, you may have to ship it, but if you're in the Los Angeles area, you just take it in. I think it's about $10 a screen. There's a place right here in Riverside that you drop it off. All right, so artwork. And we're going to go through the process today. We're going to put the emulsion on it. We're going to burn, it's called burning the image into the screen. And it's a very simple process. But your artwork has to be, it can't be fuzzy or anything. It definitely has to be very dark to block the light. So imagine if you took like black paper and cut out these letters and put them on the screen, that would block the light and then it would wash out. So in your artwork, make it clean and clear edges. If they're fuzzy on the edge, then that's how it's going to wash out, and that's how it's going to print. When you do a two-color, it gets more complicated, and I always recommend go to a graphic artist, because they went to college for 3 years and they do it within minutes. And even if they're charging $25 an hour, they can do your work in 15 minutes. So it's worth paying a graphic artist. And to find one, I would just put a post on Craigslist saying looking for freelance graphic artists, and they'll contact you. Or go to a college where they're teaching graphic art, and ask the teacher if you can put a card up, or there might be a bulletin board. So to find an artist, it should be relatively easy.
So once you find this artist you spoke about, would he have to give you the original artwork, or will he email you a copy of it? How would you get his artwork?
This is what I've done, and I've been doing this for 20 years, way before computers, and I could even kind of do simple stuff, like I did this today real quick. But when I sat down with the artist, I just kind of scratched out what I wanted, and they just brought it back and said, is this what you want? And I told them that if it was a two-color, that it had to be separated. So you, for example, let's say this word awesome, you just wanted a black outline with red letters inside. Well, where the red letters were, that would also be black. You use red ink or yellow ink, The color of ink will decide the colors, but all your artwork would have to be black. So there'd be a piece of paper like this, and then there would be one that just had the outlines of those colors, and that would be your black outline or whatever color you want. Does that help?
Yeah, but as far as, would he give you a hard copy of it, or will it be digital?
It could be a thumb drive. He can email. You can absolutely email. You can do all this through the email. You can find a guy who's in the Philippines that will do the artwork.
I see.
And you can email it, because just like this, I did it on Word, and I could have emailed that to you, and you could have printed this out.
I see.
Okay, now vellum. Vellum is a transparent paper. It's kind of plasticky, but light can pass through it. You cannot just use regular paper. You have to use a vellum. And on my website, under vendors, there's a place that sells the vellum. I bought like 100 pieces for $30 or something like that. Then if you have a larger printer that does 11 by 17, they have that also. And here locally, you can go to McLogan's or the Screen Supply, and they'll actually just sell you one sheet if you want it, or several. So, but you need vellum, or this can be done on a clear transparency. You ever see those?
Yeah.
But on that, the image tends not to be dark enough. So I tell people, on the clear only, run 2 copies and put it together so the image is dark enough.
How long will that last? The vellum last? Will it?
Oh well, it'll
last.
Paper. Yeah, you file this, you can keep it for 100 years.
Okay.
So yeah, once you have the artwork, I would save it in a file, because you may go back to it. So basically, the idea is this image has to be dark enough. Now also on vellum, on using a laser printer, they have, and I looked for it, I couldn't find it, but they have a thing called toner aid. It's a spray, and you spray it on there. It's only for laser printers, but you spray it on there and it makes it darker. So that enhances this image to be darker to help block the light. But it's not necessary. You'll see when we're doing this, I didn't spray it on there.
Is there a direct correlation with the size of that?
Wait, what?
Is there a direct correlation with the size of the vellum to the size of the shirt? So the size of the vellum will be the size of the print?
Yeah, okay. Look, this is 11 inches by 8 inches. And if I hold that up, that's really 11 inches. This is a decent size.
Okay.
But some people do a full
Right.
t-shirt print. And when you do that, you're going to need the larger vellum.
I see.
But generally, this will do it. And even on the back, 11 by 8 is pretty normal.
Okay.
The very worst, because a larger printer is going to cost you money, what you can do is buy the larger vellum, take your artwork on a thumb drive, go to Staples, and all of their copiers do 11 by 17. So you can just slip that in there. So now, so you see, you can easily do the larger size if you need it without the expense of buying a large printer.
I understand.
Sound good?
I understand.
All right, so let's pause it and then we'll... Okay, so with the Blue Diamond printer, you have to put some holes in the screen, and I'm going to do that right now. And you see I'm just drawing a line with an X kind of in the center. It's nothing, you don't have to be exact. You just have to be in the general area of the pin. And then we're going to drill a hole right here to put the bracket. The brackets are so it holds the screen steady, and it also, you'll see, it'll help you register every color you're doing. So this is something I invented in 1995, and I've sold thousands and thousands of these printers. They're really inexpensive, but they will print professional t-shirts. So now what I'm going to do is drill a 7/16 hole. Okay, that's a 7/16 drill bit, wood drill bit, and I'm going to okay, I don't go all the way through. I feel, see that point there? It makes a little hole, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, now we're going to flip it over and finish it. See that it made a hole to finish? The reason I don't push it all the way through is these bits tend to just break all the wood. So this makes it easier. Okay, so now we're going to take a break here, kind of clean up all the sawdust. All right, so we're now going to put on the registration brackets, and that is done by taking these plates, putting the carriage bolt up from the bottom, and then putting a plate and a washer. Okay, see how that's kind of a square part on these carriage bolts? Well, the way I made it, the reason you use a 7/16 drill bit is so that square part digs in. I'll show you. See, as I'm turning this, see that square part's digging in and making a square hole in the, so this is now flush. But the reason I did that is so you can tighten it, it's not going to move, the bolt's not going to spin.
And every screen you have to orient the same fashion?
Yeah, you're going to do that, then after that you're not going to do that. And you're going to take these okay, the other thing I'm going to do right now is see, the screen should lay flat on the platen. The blue thing's called the t-shirt platen. And I can tell that there's a little space there, and we want it to lay flat. And I'm going to adjust these pins, and when I do that, you won't have to do it again. But I'm going to show you how to do that, just so you know. And look at what I'm doing. These pins go up and down. And so it is real simple to just loosen those up. And lower that. I have to do both sides at once. So you basically just want the screen to touch there. And again, once I do this, you won't have to do it again unless your screens that you buy happen to be higher or lower, but they're generally all the same.
So it has to contact the blue plate?
Yeah, you want it, yeah,
flush.
You want it flush.
Does it depend on the thickness of the shirt if you're printing on like a hoodie or something?
No, that doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
So you should never adjust this then, right? Once it's set, you should adjust it only if...
Yeah, it should be, look, if for some reason you buy screens and they happen to be taller or smaller, then you're going to have to adjust. But generally all screens are the same.
Generally.
You know. But uh,
Are there specialized screens for that, or just
no,
general screens?
no, that's just the standard.
Okay.
But it may happen, but they're usually 1.5 inches. It's the standard. So, okay, so here I just want to show this is what's cool about this is see you can move this around. That means you can register the image exactly where you want it. And when you tighten this, that's where it comes down. So it's really a unique registration. Normally you spend $4,000 for a printer that has micro registration and all this stuff. And when you're starting, you don't want to have to spend $10,000 to start a business. You want to start making money and then decide, okay, I'm going to grow it. And then you'll eventually get to the real big stuff. But this is perfect for starting a professional thing. So, okay, so our next thing is we're going to coat the screen with emulsion. Now, can we shut this drawer? Okay, so what we're doing now is the emulsion, and it has to be done, it cannot be in the direct sunlight. We do have sunlight coming in. The garage door is half open, but as long as it's not direct sunlight, we're safe. So, emulsion is a photosensitive material that will react and harden once it sees UV rays. So that's why you don't want to, I better put more in. That's why you don't want to put it in the sunlight, because it'll expose it and it will not work for what we're trying to do. So, can I use this?
Yeah.
And it'll ruin it.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Okay, now, what you want to do, okay, this emulsion is a pre-mixed emulsion. It's already mixed. They sell some that's 2 parts, and then they sell a pre-mix. And I use this, it's a PV series from Saati America, and that's Saati America, and you can Google that name, and they have them all over the country, but it's their PV series, and it's really user-friendly. Okay, this tool here is called a screen coater. I just use a 6-inch one. You can buy them any length you want, and I use this because literally when you clean up, the bigger it is, you're just kind of wasting material. This in a gallon is about $60. In a quart, it's about $30. This is a half a quart, and you can do about 20 of these.
20.
Yeah, 20 screens.
The color is pink, so that
It is pink.
it doesn't matter?
They have a blue, but I like this, and it is pink.
So, but pink won't transfer to the shirt, or just...
No.
That's just the color.
This will dry hard as a rock.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We're going to let this dry.
I see.
Okay, now see how I have the screen laying this way? Oh, also on the screen cutter, there's a sharper edge and a dull edge, and you want the sharper edge. It won't cut the screen, but you'll see there's a difference. You want the sharper edge. Okay, so look, I'm pouring the emulsion out and I'm dragging it, and see how I'm moving the screen and dipping it back? So that allows it, so you just don't have a big mess at the top. So I'm going to dump it and then turn it. There you go. And dump it. And turn the whole screen. Okay, we're gonna scrape that excess off, but we're gonna do the same thing here. And I'll tell you what, don't move the camera around, it'll probably make people dizzy. You're probably better to just show it, because I'm doing it.
Okay.
And, okay, so you're dumping the emulsion out, going up, and then you're going like this.
Both sides.
Yeah, on both sides. Okay, when you're new, what's going to happen is you're going to get this all over yourself. But that's okay. You're going to practice. You can't hurt anything. Okay, now, see how I tipped the screen? Now I'm just cleaning it off.
That's with the blade side?
What's that?
Is that with the blade side you're
Yeah,
cleaning it off?
the same side. And I'm going to do that on both sides several times because you do not want
Drips?
the drips. I mean, it won't wash out right. So see how I'm doing a very thin, T-H-I-N, thin coat of emulsion.
Will this emulsion stain clothing, concrete?
Yeah, you know what if you smell it, you're gonna smell it. It smells like Elmer's glue.
Smells like glue.
But they put a chemical in it, and that chemical, if you drip it on your sink and you don't wash it off right away, it is just hell to get off. It's really hard. Okay, so now I need to turn this off. On? Okay, so now we're going to take this without seeing any sunlight. We're going to take it into the house, into the bathroom with the light off, and we're going to put a fan on it and let it dry. It should take about a half hour to dry. So, here we go, into garage door. All right, and then I'm going to turn the fan on real quick just to show what's going on.
Turn it down there.
So, am I going to be able to? Oh, I just turned it off.
You just have to press it.
Oh, good. All right. So, those are just regular light bulbs. Oh, okay. That's not going to hurt. Great. So, look at there's a fan, and we're drying it. And see those light bulbs? Show those light bulbs. Those can't hurt emulsion, so that's okay. But you still want to turn the light off. But that's going to take about a half hour to dry. All right, cool. So we want to save the emulsion, and they have paint spatulas for like 10 cents. We just grabbed this out of Darren's kitchen. But the thing is, we got to wash it off right away. But we want to save all the emulsion.
Will it dry fast if you leave it open?
Does it what?
Does it dry fast?
No, but I mean, you have plenty of time. It's like this. Consider you're working with Elmer's glue.
Oh, okay.
But oh, jeez. I'm going to do my best to save as much as we can, and then I'm going to send Darren in, and he's going to wash all this out. All right. So we saved what we could. I forgot to tell him to get little, like 1 inch, you know those plastic paint spatulas, they're flat. You're going to need them to take the ink out and stuff like that. Okay, so set the camera down, you're going to go. All right, so we dried the emulsion, so it's dry to touch, and then now, okay, so this is the back of the screen. And we want to take the image and put it on reverse toward the top of the screen, like that. And then we have a 1/4 inch piece of glass, 15 inches by 15 inches. That holds the vellum close to the screen. That's important.
Why on the top with the vellum? Why on the top, not in the middle of the screen? Is there?
Oh, because when you set it up on the t-shirt board, the image is going to be right around here. And remember the screen is right here?
Oh, okay.
So if you put it in the middle, it'll be down here.
I see.
And you want more access. You'll see that as we're doing this. Okay, so I want to set my timer. We're going to do 2.5 minutes.
Is that the
Normally
standard?
I do 3, but I didn't spray that darkener on it, so we're going to do okay, so we got, gonna set it at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right, so light on. Oh, there we go. Start. So, gonna let that happen. Now what's happening here is the black is blocking the UV rays. And so the UV rays is hardening the emulsion everywhere else. And so when we spray water on it, it's gonna
Burn inside of it?
wash out wherever the black is.
Is that a particular type of light bulb wattage?
It's 500 watt light bulb.
500 watt.
Yeah, it's a 500 watt light bulb.
Incandescent.
This exposure unit I have on my YouTube channel, and I show how to make it. It's, you know, I give all the dimensions, what type of light to buy, what kind of glass to buy. But you can make this for under $50 at home.
The bulb is incandescent, correct?
The bulb is what?
The bulb is an incandescent bulb?
No, incandescent has no UV rays.
Oh, I see.
Incandescent is the old style light bulbs, which they don't sell anymore. They're mostly fluorescent, those little squirrely things.
Right.
Halogen has UV
Halogen.
rays. The other thing you notice, well, I don't know that you can notice, but I took the piece, there's a glass shield. I throw all that away because that glass shield has a UV filter, and you don't want that. So you want the UV rays. So that is that. And the reason I went 2.5 minutes is because normally I'll spray that image with toner aid, and it darkens that image. And so I'm playing around here, but it should be all right. If it isn't, we'll have to redo it. But the other day I did it for 3 minutes, and we really had a tough time washing it out because I didn't have the toner aid.
Washing it off the screen?
Washing out the image.
I see.
It worked, but we just had to work on it, and it should just fall out. The image should just wash right out.
Can you ruin one of these screens if you leave it on there for too long? Will it stay burned? Will it burn into it?
No, it will not. It'll just, what'll happen is you'll actually ruin the emulsion. You'll have to remove the emulsion and do it again. So yeah, you don't want to let it just stay under there. But you can't hurt it in other ways. Okay, so now we're removing this, the glass, and we're moving this. Okay, now we have a bottle. This is important. We have a bottle with water. Hopefully this, oh, I probably have it on. Oh.
I hope so. I got those at the 99 cent stores. There it is.
Okay, you want it on mist. And what we're going to do is just mist where the image is on both sides. And we're going to let it set. So you can kind of see the
Yeah,
image.
it's coming through a little bit right there.
Okay, and so we're going to let this set for 5 minutes before we start washing it out. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. All right, and you can turn the camera on. That was 5 minutes, and I did keep putting water on this. I kept misting it because I noticed it was drying. Okay, so now we're going to wash the screen out, And, okay, we're in the garage here. And you see how it's kind of shaded? Now here, the sun isn't directly here. So I am going to, I have the hose right here, but we're just going to wash this. We lost pressure.
Kink in the hose.
There we go. I had it turned down. All right. I kind of blew a little bit of it out, so we'll stop there. I kind of overdid it. But anyway, there you go. It's washed out. Now that it's washed out, we can put it in the sun to dry. So what we're going to do is just set it.
Top of the car, if you want to.
So it can just sit here, and we're going to let it the sun dry it. But now we're going to go make pizza.
How long does it take to dry?
Probably about 15 minutes.
So it has to completely dry?
Yeah, everything will dry up. Yeah.
Cool.
It'll completely dry.
Cool. Ready?
So there you go.
Go.
All right. So now we're taping off the screen. And I was just explaining, they have different tapes. And if you're going to leave the screen and the ink on the screen for a long time, you cannot use this tape because it's basically masking tape, and so it'll break down with the oil-based chemical of the ink. But you know what? When you do a screen printing job, you should get it all ready, print it, and finish it, and then remove the ink, clean the screen right away anyway. There's no reason to be leaving it on there for a long time.
Is there a certain reason why you're taping over so much?
Okay, the reason I'm doing it because all that area, the ink will come through if you don't tape it off. So all on the edges, if the ink gets there, it will just come through. So you tape it, you're blocking the ink. And the reason you're doing it inside is when you go to clean up, it's a lot easier cleaning it. It's a lot easier. Okay, so what you're going to do when you clean up, you're going to take all the excess ink and put it back in the container, and then you're going to clean the ink off in this area really well, and then you're just going to pull the tape off because trying to clean in these cracks is really hard. So that's why we go through all this trouble of putting tape. It's going to save you a lot of heartache in cleaning later on. So the other thing, this tape is so easy to work with. So I like it. Alright, so that's about it. So now, we're going over to the printer. Now one thing you can do, when you put a t-shirt on this board, this is what's determining where the print goes. So it's not a bad idea to center. Okay, I'm just eyeballing this, but actually if you got a measuring tape and measure that so it's dead center, I'll show you something else about this too. So we know that when we put a t-shirt on there now, that it's aligned. Okay, the image isn't going to be on this side of the shirt. So, but let's pretend this was a two-color shirt. Let's pretend this is going to be red. Let's say it's three colors. This is going to be blue and this is going to be yellow. You see how you can see through that? Can you see that on the camera? You see how see how that is? Okay, so let's say let's say the first screen was just the red. So we would line this up like that. Tighten this down. So we know every time we put the red one down, it would be in its place. So then we do the same for that, and then we register. So we'd have three screens, and every one would go exactly where it should go. And that's called registration. So you put your artwork down and to line everything else up. So now we can remove this. And now we are ready to print. So the first thing we want, well, we want a lot of things. We want to get things ready. Okay, so these things are called test pillows. We got a little dirt on it, so we'll flip it over. But it's actually backing they use for curtains, but it's great to, they cost 10 cents each. It's great to try your image first on this and rather than waste a t-shirt.
It's called a test pillow?
Test Pellon. Pellon.
Test Pellon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they sell them in black and white.
And you get these from?
Screen print supply
Same thing,
place.
okay.
And I'm going to tell you one in Riverside they'll have. That you buy a 100 pack for $20 or $10, something like that. I forget. Okay, the other thing is spray adhesive. What this does is you spray it on here, and you are going, here, we're going to turn the flash dryer on now. So we're going to start warming that up. But you're going to spray this adhesive. It's not what you buy at an art store for artwork. It's different. So we're putting it right where the image is. And we're going to put this down. But if that was a t-shirt, we'd do the same thing. See how I'm putting it down? What that does is the ink is like peanut butter. It's very thick and heavy. See how it is? And so what it'll tend to do is pull up on the t-shirt, and you don't want that to happen. So it's like, all right, you want to come over here, and we'll open that garage door a little bit more. We'll move the ladder. All right, so this is what we're going to do. It's called floating. See how I'm grabbing all the ink? And right before the design, I'm not pushing down on it. I'm covering the image. See how the image is covered? So I didn't push on it. But now I am. And see how I kind of have it at an angle? And the best way to print is try to get to the point where you're just squeegeeing it once. Because every time you do it, you're putting more and more ink on it, and you don't want a lot of ink. So, let's look at it. Okay, so yeah, we're going to set this down over here, out of the way. So, this is it.
Wow.
So, now it's your turn. So what I'm going to do, put this baby under here. Okay, let me talk a little bit about the flash dryer. Flash dryer is 1600 watts. You see, when you build the stand, it allows it to be closer to this and farther away from here. In fact, this allows you to lift it up higher. And you know what? I'm going to do that. This should be about 5 or 6 inches high. When you're curing a t-shirt, it's a minute or less, like 45 seconds to a minute. When you're flash drying between colors, it's only 5 seconds. Flash drying is different than curing. And you don't want to dry a shirt on this board. You can heat it up and bend it and ruin it. So that's why we make a tile piece here. So now I'm going to guide you through. I'm going to hold the camera, you're going to print.
Okay.
All right.
Do I have to put some more spray onto the...
Okay, the spray should last for about 3 or 4 shirts, but being new, what happens is you take longer, so you may, if you're slow, you would spray more spray on it. So let's have you spray just a little more spray on there.
Just a quick little...
Yeah, just kind of where the image is. You can't do anything wrong. There you go. And then you're going to put that down. smooth it out. And that's what you would do with a t-shirt too. You want to make sure the t-shirt's smooth. All right, so grab the screen. Okay, what you're doing is, yeah, you're lining it up on those, there you go. Okay, now you're gonna float the ink, pull the ink up, remember how I did it, kind of grab all the ink, pull it up to close to the thing, and then lift up so it's, you're just floating it, you're just covering, there you go. Now you can do that several times, as much as you want. You want to cover the whole image. You can put some pressure on it. I mean, don't be that nervous. All right, good. There you go. That's good. Okay, now, so now just push straight ahead and push down. And listen, on the squeegee, you can push so hard you're literally taking ink off the shirt. So it's not a real hard pressure, but it is.
Medium?
Yeah, medium pressure. And this is the biggest thing you're going to learn about printing. Once you clear the image, lift this up and put it way back there. Oops, sorry. And then when you lift the screen, grab it from back here, as far back, and lift from the back. There you go. And then just put it down in there. Okay, Darren printed his first image. And that's the one.
Now you said flash drying and curing. So flash dried meaning if there was another color here,
yes, if they're right between colors, because ink will mix with other ink, so you want to dry each layer.
So it's only 5 seconds per.
On a t-shirt. Now we'll do it on the back. So what I do is I put my arm through it. I'll do one and then you're going to do the same thing. Now this board will handle small, medium, large, and extra large. But if you need to start doing smaller or sleeves or children, I have them different sizes, so you can buy those. And they come right off.
What's the name of the board again? That's your
Platen.
Platen board.
Yeah, the t-shirt platen. Okay, so now, you know what? I need to spray the adhesive. Let me do that real quick. So, see how I'm spraying right where the image is? You don't have to spray down here and all that. So, this, for a new person, can be tricky because there's glue involved and you're trying to line it up. But what we're going to do, okay, you see that crease and that? I make sure it's even, but if it's a bigger shirt, I'd make sure that the space between this and the board were even. Okay, now the image is about right here, so that's about where we want it. Okay, so now, once I get in there, see how I'm smoothing it out for the glue? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing.
Just one swipe.
Wow. Yeah, you want to do it one side. Wow. Yeah, a lot of new people just keep loading it up.
But you're taking ink away if you do that, right?
What's that?
You're taking ink away if you keep going back and forth.
Well, what happens is, there's a couple things that can happen. If you go this way and then this way and that way, you actually start moving it. I mean, because this is only material. So you might fuzzy up the image. And so the next print will be fuzzy and fuzzy. So the quicker you just do it, the better. Okay, now watch what I'm doing. I'm pulling this. And it's very sticky, but I just keep pulling on it until it comes off. And then, you know, I kind of place the image right in there. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on it. But if it goes longer than a minute, you can burn the shirt. So I'll just keep an eye on it. What I'm going to do is let you spray the adhesive and put the t-shirt on. And
Can I try it in the front? Try it in the back. Can I go to the front?
sure. However you want to do it. So you put your arm through the whole thing. Remember how I did it through the, see how that's definitely, see, that's getting,
I was cooking it.
yeah, it's definitely cooking. I want to show you something here. What I do is, once it's done, I wave it in the air a little bit,
Like you just don't care.
because basically that's melted plastic, so right when it's done, it might touch each other, but it's just a few seconds. Wave it in the air and then you're good. So I usually hang it over a chair, and you just hang them, just print one, dry it, you do 100 shirts, they're all piled
You
up.
put your arms through here.
Okay, put it all the way through not through there, through the middle, all the way to the bottom. Here, let me show you one more time. I tell everybody the first 100 shirts, that's where you learn. You're going to go through all the,
Like so.
yeah. Okay, and then you got the front. So now that it's open, just grab it in the back.
Like here.
Yeah, and then put it through. Okay, now we're going to start putting it through. You can pull your arm out. As long as you opened it up. There you go. Yeah, and you just don't want to tap it down. Now, listen, you don't want, see that? You don't want that because that'll lift the screen up. So pull it back at least to there. And I would even, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, that's good. And then you want to make sure it's even there. And now you notice there's a weave. Now you could tell if you had it pushed over that way or that way. So you know it's pretty much even. So good. Okay, now so yeah, you're
do
good.
You straighten out the wrinkles?
Yeah,
like
yeah. Now you flatten it out, especially where the print's going to be. And you can put pressure on. I mean, you can just really do it. All right. So grab all the ink, bring it up to the image. Okay, now float it.
Float some more.
That's good. Now, what I would do is push all that ink.
Back.
Yeah, push it all back off the... There you go. All right, now lift it up and put that squeegee in the back there. Okay, lift it up from the back, Yeah, that's the easiest way for that.
Wow.
You happy? Okay, now see, you can literally put that back on there and do it again. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, okay, so now you're pulling it off. And just pull it towards you, grab it, and just start pulling towards you. There you go. Okay, pull, pull, pull. See, that's why you don't need glue down here. You just need it where you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't let it touch each other.
Oh. Still wet.
And put the image in the middle of the drying place.
Right there.
More.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I didn't even go further because, basically you want to just put it in the center. There you go. Okay.
A minute?
Yeah, it's actually like 45 seconds. I need to raise that up before I leave. I'm going to raise it up a little bit more because it is really close. Anyway, so what do you think?
Great. It's cool.
All right. Well, there you go.
Thanks, Bob.
Now you know how to print a t-shirt and you know what the best pizza in the world is.
You are correct, sir.